that it is important in incidents of terrorism that the authorities put out more information sooner in order to prevent an information gap.
Politics, today is the time to focus entirely on the families who are going through such pain and grief.
What if I told you that a single case in Southport could bring down Keir Starmer's leadership? Nigel Farage claims to have explosive information that will shake Labour to its core. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favour. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now back to the video. As January 20th approaches, the nation holds its breath. What secrets lie buried in Southport? And why is Starmer's team scrambling to keep them hidden? The truth is about to surface, and it's more shocking than anyone imagined. Picture this: a courtroom in Southport, buzzing with anticipation. The suspect, accused of a brutal stabbing, is due to appear. But as the proceedings begin, something's amiss. The defendant's chair sits empty, his name mysteriously absent from all records. What's really going on in Southport?
But also has yet to enter pleas, and his court case is yet to happen. So we have to be careful, but it is fair game.
The case seemed straightforward at first. A violent attack left multiple victims wounded, shocking the quiet coastal town. Police swiftly made an arrest, and justice appeared to be on track. But as the trial approached, things took a bizarre turn. Suddenly, the suspect vanished from public view. Officials cited a vague illness, but provided no details. Attempts to find any information about the accused hit dead ends. No photos, no background, nothing. It's as if someone had scrubbed him from existence. This unusual secrecy has raised eyebrows across the nation. Why the cloak and dagger routine for what should be an open and shut case? Enter Nigel Farage, never one to shy away from controversy. He's been dropping hints that there's far more to this story than meets the eye. I know a lot more about what happened in Southport, Farage teased recently, his tone suggesting he's sitting on a powder keg of information. But why would a local crime case interest a political figure like Farage? The implications are troubling. Could there be connections to larger issues of national security, or perhaps links to high-level political figures? The government's tight-lipped approach only fuels speculation.
That it is important in incidents of terrorism that the authorities put out more information sooner in order to prevent an information gap.
Every day that passes without answers, the whispers of a cover-up grow louder. Adding another layer of intrigue is the timing. As January 20th approaches, the date of the US presidential inauguration, some are questioning if there's an attempt to bury this story beneath a tidal wave of international news.
We have to be very, very careful about the suspect, the defendant, who has been charged now.
It's a tactic as old as politics itself. If you can't solve a problem, try to hide it. But the truth has a way of coming out, especially when determined individuals are digging for it. Farage claims he's ready to unleash damning evidence that could shake the foundations of British politics. As the nation holds its breath, one question looms large. What secrets are hiding in Southport, and who stands to fall when they're finally revealed? When the truth about Southport comes out, Starmer is in very big trouble.
I came here to pay my respects to the victims and families who are going through raw pain and grief.
Nigel Farage's ominous warning hangs in the air like a storm cloud. But as the pressure mounts, Keir Starmer's response is deafening in its silence. Is this a calculated political strategy, or has the Labour leader painted himself into a corner he can't escape. Farage's recent statements have cranked up the heat on Starmer. The former Brexit Party leader isn't mincing words, suggesting that Starmer's reluctance to address the Southport situation speaks volumes. If Starmer has nothing to hide, he needs to come forward and clear the air, Farage asserted, throwing down the gauntlet to his political rival. Meanwhile, Starmer's approach couldn't be more different. When pressed on the matter, he's defaulted to a carefully crafted statement. "My focus is on the families, the victims who are at the heart of this, and I think that should be the focus for everybody."
My own sense is that Keir Starmer and the Home Secretary knew perfectly well about these extra details.
It's a textbook example of political deflection, but in the face of Farage's accusations, it's starting to look more like avoidance than compassion. The contrast between Farage's bold claims and Starmer's reticence is stark. While one man promises earth-shattering revelations, the other seems determined to change the subject. This disparity has only fueled speculation about what might be lurking beneath the surface of the Southport case. Critics, including some Tory leadership candidates, are starting to ask uncomfortable questions. What did Starmer know? And when did he know it? The suggestion of a cover-up is gaining traction.
But it takes second place to the unravelling Southport mystery, to be honest with you.
With Robert Jenrick warning, any suggestion of a cover-up will permanently damage public trust in whether we're being told the truth about crime in our country.
His experience, Sir Keir Starmer would have known about this perhaps within hours of the dreadful incident happening.
As January 20th looms closer, the anticipation surrounding Farage's promised bombshell continues to build. The political world is on edge, wondering what information he possesses that could potentially derail Starmer's leadership. The implications for the Labour Party and British politics as a whole are significant. The silence from Starmer's camp is becoming increasingly untenable. With each passing day, the pressure grows for a more substantial response. Will Starmer break his silence and address Farage's allegations head-on? Or will he continue to sidestep, hoping the storm will blow over? As the nation holds its breath, one thing is clear: the truth about Southport has the potential to reshape the political landscape.
The Prime Minister, the Home Secretary, and indeed the police knew that there was a terror-related aspect.
Whether it's a game-changing revelation or a political bluff, the coming days promise to be a crucible for British democracy. The question on everyone's lips: what will we learn when the secrets of Southport finally come to light, and how will it alter the course of British politics? As we approach January the 20th, the Southport mystery continues to cast a long shadow over British politics. The case that began as a local crime has morphed into a potential powder keg, threatening to upend the political landscape. Nigel Farage's cryptic hints and Keir Starmer's conspicuous silence have only intensified public scrutiny. The heart of this issue goes beyond partisan politics. It strikes at the core of government transparency and accountability. Recent polling shows a growing distrust in official narratives, with many feeling that crucial information is being withheld.
Politics, today is the time to focus entirely on the families who are going through such pain and grief.
This sentiment underscores the public's hunger for truth and openness from their leaders. As the clock ticks down, the nation waits with bated breath. What revelations will emerge from Southport? How will they reshape the political terrain? And perhaps most crucially, will this saga mark a turning point in how the British public demands transparency from those in power? The answers to these questions could well determine the future course of UK politics.